In 1924, a man was shot 6 times in the back room of his flower shop, still holding his shears. This wasn't just any murder. It was the killing of Dean O'Banion, Capone's rival and Chicago's most unlikely crime lord. Or how did a florist command such power? And why did his death ignite a gang war that would claim hundreds of lives? The answer lies in the twisted elegance of his double life, where flowers hid bullets and funerals masked feuds. Imagine walking into a flower shop, the scent of chrysanthemums thick in the air, while the man arranging bouquets controls Chicago's liquor trade. That was Dean O'Banion's world. His shop on North State Street wasn't just a business. It was a front, so convincing even the cops bought flowers there. The cash register rang up legitimate sales, while handshakes in the back room sealed deals for bootleg whiskey shipments. The location was perfect. Right across from Holy Name Cathedral, where sinners and saints passed by every day. O'Banion played both roles beautifully. He'd chat up priests about floral arrangements for Sunday Mass, then an hour later, order a rival's beating. The storefront gave him something most gangsters craved but couldn't buy: respectability. No one suspects the florist. His talent with flowers wasn't an act. O'Banion truly knew his trade, could whip up bouquets faster than his men could load a Thompson. That skill became his signature. When a North Side gang member died, O'Banion's elaborate funeral wreath sent messages. Too small? That meant disrespect. Too many white lilies? A warning. Every petal carried meaning in Chicago's underworld. Prohibition turned his shop into a hub. Gangsters would stop by for flowers when they really came to split territory. Cops walking past saw respectable businessmen, not crime lords carving up the city. The shop's ledger showed rose sales, not the real numbers pouring in from beer distribution. The back room told a different story. That's where the shears clipped more than stems. Weapons waited beneath the work tables. Whiskey orders got written on floral invoices. Men left with wedding arrangements in one hand and envelopes of cash in the other. What made it work was O'Banion himself. That easy smile as he wrapped posies made you want to trust him. He remembered names, asked about kids, sent flowers when someone died. All genuine until the moment it wasn't. The same hands that crafted perfect boutonnieres could sign your death warrant. By 1924, the shop became too valuable to risk. The flower trade kept the IRS satisfied, while the real money flowed underground. No boarded-up speakeasy could offer this kind of protection. O'Banion didn't just hide his crimes behind roses. He made the disguise part of the business model. Then there were the funerals. O'Banion supplied flowers for every major gangland send-off, including ones he'd arranged. The best irony? His own murder would happen right there, among the gladiolas and carnations. The shop that built his empire would become his killing floor. The morning of November 10th, 1924, smelled like damp earth and chrysanthemums in O'Banion's flower shop. 3 men walked in like any other customers. They shook hands with the florist, who still had his shears in his pocket from trimming stems. That handshake was the signal. It had been coming since the Sieben Brewery raid. O'Banion double-crossed Torrio and Capone on that deal, selling them a warehouse the police were about to seize. That move cost the outfit $500,000. In gangster math, that equaled 1 dead florist. The hit team was professional. Frankie Yale from New York, plus Scalise and Anselmi, 2 Chicago triggermen who'd later die in their own ambush. The mechanics were clinical. Yale gripped O'Banion's right hand too tight to reach his gun. Scalise and Anselmi pulled their .38s. 6 shots, all to the chest and head. O'Banion fell backward into a display of roses. his shears clattering to the floor. The killers walked out past wedding bouquets, stepping around a delivery boy carrying lilies. His funeral was the biggest Chicago had seen. 10,000 people showed up. The flowers alone cost $10,000, 22 truckloads of orchids, roses, and carnations. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. The man who'd supplied flowers for so many gangland funerals now had his own. Al Capone sent an $8,000 wreath. He could afford to be generous. The coroner's report read like a bad joke. Occupation, florist. But the real punchline came next. O'Banion's murder kicked off 5 years of revenge killings, the beer wars that left over 500 dead. His gang renamed themselves the North Side Mob and declared open season on Capone's crew. Drive-by shootings, car bombs, even a daylight machine gun attack on Hawthorne Inn became routine. Back at the flower shop, new owners took over within weeks. The bloodstains had been scrubbed away, but the stories lingered. Customers still asked to see the spot where O'Banion died, like it was some tourist attraction. In a way, it was. Chicago had entered its golden age of violence, and that back room was ground zero. The shears were the last detail. They found them clutched in O'Banion's hand after the shooting, like he'd tried to defend himself with Florist's tools against bullets. It made perfect sense. For all his power, he died the way he lived, half in the flower trade, half in the underworld, with no clean line between the two. Capone's men would later say the killing had been too clean, that they should have made it messy as a warning. But the symbolism worked anyway. A florist, gunned down among his flowers, told everyone. No one was safe, no front was secure, and Chicago belonged to whoever had the stomach to take it. O'Banion's story is Chicago in the 1920s, roses wrapped around machine guns. His flower shop wasn't just a front. It was the perfect metaphor for an era where respectability and violence shared the same address. Those shears still in his hand when he died. That's the real ending. A man who built an empire arranging flowers, then got killed arranging his own funeral wreaths. If you want more stories about history's most fascinating figures, hit like and subscribe. There's always another shadow behind the spotlight. And that shop? It's a parking lot now. The only thing left is the sidewalk where blood once mixed with rosewater.